Hey guys, so I wanted to do this video because it goes back to a previous video that I did before about Anthony Joshua and Triple G. Um, it appears the walls are closing in for Triple G. Um, the WBC press said that if he's not going to fight Canelo, then he must fight Charlo. And we all know that in fighting Charlo, he's gonna see that, you know, there's no slouch in him at all. In fact, there's young lion in them. And so, in my honest opinion, and I could be very wrong, but Triple G is going to either fight Canelo for the lesser money, being the lesser draw. He's going to try to wiggle his way around fighting his Mandos and fight someone like Murata, or, and this may sound very, very far fetched, he's going to vacate the whole 160 division altogether, move up to 168 and fight a bum there. And I'm just saying this because Triple G has a pattern of trying to look like or looking like the boogeyman against lesser opposition. Let's face it, fighting a guy like, let's just say, a guy like Adama and dominating him, fighting a guy like David Lemieux and dominating him, and no disrespect to Willie Monroe, but fighting a guy like Willie Monroe and dominating him um, is not really gonna make you a boogeyman. I mean, to date, let's just call it spade a spade. To date, his best victory is Daniel Jacobs, and even that is contested. A lot of people think Jacobs won that fight, even with the knockdown. A lot of people think that Daniel Jacobs won that fight. Um, so basically, it then goes back to the fans of Triple G who think he's this boogeyman, and at the same time will say, um, well, Charlo doesn't deserve the fight. Who has he fought? Or they'll say Sergey Devinchenko doesn't deserve the fight. Who has he fought? Daniel Jacobs doesn't deserve the rematch. Who has he fought? And it's like they're mandatories for a reason, bro. Like, so really get out of your slumber. You know, just accept the reality that you're very afraid that your guy may get beat by any of these guys because the guys I just named ain't no slouches. And that's the problem with these Triple G fans. They want to make him out to be this boogeyman when it's easy to look good against guys who are moving up in weight and been inactive for 2 years, you know. And so, as I said before, it would not surprise me if Abel Sanchez and Triple G put their heads together like usual to find a way out of their predicament, because as it stands now, the walls are really closing in on them. They're going to have to fight a dog soon if he is to stay in this weight class. Or what may happen too, he may just vacate the belts altogether. He may just say, "No, I don't want to take these fights," and just lose all his belts. That would not surprise me either, because fans use the other excuse that he's getting up there in age and things like that. That, oh, he's getting up there, he's getting way older, this, that, and the other. But I mean, let's be honest. Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo when he was what, like 36 years old, and then Canelo was like 23, and we saw what he did to him. That wasn't even, there was no, he left nothing to doubt in that fight on who won that fight. Um, and I think he'll just follow that pattern with Abel Sanchez and Triple G, basically. Like, I mean, they didn't even want an inactive Boo Boo Andre as a replacement. I mean, the dude's been inactive, so that's the time you can get him if you really thought you were a boogeyman. I mean, he could even, as I said before, he could have fought his Mando, you know, Sergey Devonchenko. He could have fought his Mando instead of Monterosian. Even there was one time where Erslan Lara was calling out Triple G and was willing to move up to 160 to fight him too. But guess what? Abel Sanchez said that fight wouldn't be good for boxing. So fights like Willie Monroe uh, are good for boxing. Fights versus David Lemieux, a guy who has two left feet, are good for boxing. But I expect the double standards to continue. When a real dog challenges Triple G, Triple G fans come up with all the excuses in the world of why Triple G shouldn't fight him. But then when Triple G fights a bum, they're all for it, you know, and nothing changes with them. You know, if you were a true boxing fan, you would want to see the best fight the best. That's what you would want to see. You wouldn't want to see these filler fights. You would want to see real fights. You would want to see them vintage style Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Lee Hearns type of fights. Those Roberto Duran versus Wilfred Benitez type fights. Those those type of fights. You would want to see those fights. You wouldn't want to see the type of fights that Triple G are after right now as we speak. And this just goes to show me that you're not a fan of boxing. You're a fan of a fighter. You're not a fan of boxing overall. You're just a fan of a certain fighter due to certain reasons that I don't even need to get into. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think Triple G is going to do. I'm out till the next one. Njara.